And then we've also got the running up and over, which is a similar rig again. Very good for cod, very good for thornbacks. It's just the trouble with this rig, it tends, like on bass and cod and stuff like that, it tends to hook it further back into the fish. And I find it important sometimes when you're cod fishing, because with cod fishing they got big mouths, and if with a pulley rig they go like that, and if it misses the hook it'll come straight out of his mouth. Where with this rig, because of the way it runs, the rod itself will hook the fish, because as it goes off it indicates the rod will go over, and what happens is this, so it will set up like that, it will clip up over the top. I'll go through how it's made in a minute. It will clip down onto the bottom like that, okay, and then when you undo it, it goes like that, and it leaves a long flowing trace, a bit like a drop down. But the good thing about this, like this, it acts as a boat rig, so it's got all that. So when it even picks it up, before it even indicates, it will go all the way like that to my rod tip. My rod tip will bend over, that will lift the lead up, which will set the hook. It's a very good rig, guys, and I use it loads for raying, especially for blondes and small lines and stuff like that. And I would say there's been times where I've been with people and stuff like that, and we've been fishing and we've all been using pulley rigs and that, and I've put this on there, and it's made the difference between catching fish and not catching fish. And I think sometimes when the fish aren't like in numbers, that can be the difference between seeing a fish or not, okay? And the way it's made is this. So on the bottom end you've got a swivel, okay? So I've got 100-pound swivel with a rubber bead and then a bigger bead, and then I've got one of the Gemini pulley beads there on there with an imp going down to my lead, so it helps protect it. Then I've got a big bead, then I've got a small bead, which is basically acting like that, and on the top I've got a bent link clip from Gemini, okay? And then basically on that end I've got trace lines. So what you can do is you can basically double up the whatever size main rig body you're using there, you can double up in size to use as your trace line. So what I tend to do is make it about 4 inches smaller, okay, and then that will clip down onto my trace line. My trace is exactly the same in hooks as what I've done on the other rigs, okay, and then basically it goes down like that, and it goes down really small, but that trace is double the width of that. So I would say that's about 2.5 foot, so I've got a 5 foot trace on that, you know what I mean, and that will dangle with that around and stuff like that. If I'm fishing down some places like Dartmouth and Salcombe and stuff like that, I fish prawn like on one of these rigs, okay, but I'll fish it with a little ball weight about 6 to 8 inches up my line, so it just goes bombing along like that, which is given the effect of a prawn. Really good way of targeting fawnies down around that area.